I want to thank them, everyone who's been cheering me and everyone who was there today and everyone who's been part of my journey. Thank you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today's story isn't really just about tennis, it's about the dreams of an entire nation. Philippine tennis has rarely produced a name that broke through at Grand Slam level. Yet 21-year-old Alexandra Eala, known to fans as Alex Eala, has spent the last couple of years writing something that genuinely feels like a fairy tale. In this video, we're breaking down how she climbed to a career-high world number 28, how she fought to the fourth round at Wimbledon 2026, and most importantly, the actual math behind why so many believe she's genuinely within reach of the WTA top 20. Tennis fan or not, stick around, because this is an underdog story built on hard work, injury, comebacks, and pure ambition. Let's start with the background. Eala was born in Manila, and her love for tennis was obvious from a young age. She trained at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain, one of the premier destinations where gifted junior players from across the globe sharpen their games, and that's where she built the foundation of her career. Her junior resume was already impressive. She won the Australian Open junior doubles title at just 14, and later captured the Roland Garros junior singles crown, proof the talent had been there from the start. But the leap from juniors to the pro tour is never simple, especially from a country without the tennis infrastructure of the US, Europe, or India. Eala carved her own path anyway, grinding out results on the Challenger Tour, banking points, and steadily climbing the rankings. She cracked the top 200 for the first time in 2023, and her trajectory kept rising from there. Looking back at recent history, 2025 was already a breakout year. She reached the final in Eastbourne, then made a semi-final run at the Miami Open, a huge result since she'd entered as a qualifier, and by the end of that season she was sitting around world number 50, a career high at the time. The real magic, though, happened in 2026. Early in the year, Eala went on her Middle East swing. She reached the quarterfinals of the Abu Dhabi Open, a WTA 500 event, falling there to world number 11 Ekaterina Alexandrova, but that run still pushed her into the top 40 for the first time, another career high. An early exit at the Qatar Open followed, but the setback didn't last because next came Indian Wells, often called the fifth Grand Slam for its scale and prestige. There, Eala advanced all the way to the round of 16, a run that lifted her to a career-high world number 29. Cracking the top 30 is huge for any player, but for someone from a developing tennis nation with limited funding and coaching resources, it means even more. Then came the Miami Open, where Eala had to defend her semi-final run from the year before a poor result could have dropped her back to around 50th or 60th. That pressure is brutal for a young player, but Eala showed real maturity, reaching the round of 16 again and keeping her ranking steady. Some expiring points briefly dropped her to number 45, but the dip was temporary. Her trajectory was about to shoot upward again. Now let's unpack how the WTA ranking system actually works, because without this, the gap to the top 20 conversation won't fully make sense. Rankings are built from a player's best 18 results over the trailing 52 weeks, only those count toward the total. Each event's points depend on its tier. Grand Slams pay the most, then WTA 1000s, then 500s, 250s, and Challenger or ITF level events, with point scaling by how far a player advances. One key quirk: when an old result ages out of that 52-week window, its points expire. If a player can't match that same result the next time the tournament rolls around, the ranking drops, exactly why players talk about having to defend points. Here's where Eala's situation gets genuinely interesting. Last year, a left shoulder injury limited her North American hardcourt swing. She managed only a first-round exit at the National Bank Open in Toronto, worth 10 points, and a quarterfinal at the ITF W100 Carry Tennis Classic, worth 25. Neither cracked her active best 18 baseline, since she already had stronger results elsewhere. Then, at the US Open, she reached the second round, worth 70 points, and because Grand Slam results always count regardless of the best 18 cutoff, those 70 points became permanent. That means heading into this year's swing, Eala only has to defend 70 points total, tiny compared to rivals protecting hundreds of points from deep runs the year before. That's a golden opportunity, since she'll play the WTA 1000 Masters in Toronto and Cincinnati, plus the US Open. Even one strong run across those three could send her total climbing sharply with little risk of losing ground, exactly why analysts keep saying her climb isn't slowing down anytime soon. Now, Wimbledon 2026, the defining moment of Eala's career so far. She put together the best Grand Slam run of her life, beating Renata Zarazua, then Maya Joint, before the truly stunning moment. A win over defending champion Iga Swiatek, a massive upset given Swiatek's elite status. From there, Eala advanced to the fourth round, where she fell to 13th seed Jasmine Paolini. That run pushed her to a new career-high world number 28, and made her the talk of the tennis world. Players like Coco Gauff publicly praised her. And back home it felt like a national celebration in a country traditionally dominated by basketball and boxing. Let's break down how big this top 20 gap really is, since a lot of the headlines floating around are honestly confusing. Based on real reporting, Eala's point total sits between roughly 1,666 and 1,690, depending on the week's update. The players around her include world number 28 Anastasia Potapova with 1,667, world number 27 Emma Navarro with 1,674, and world number 26 Barbara Krejcikova with 1,679, gaps of only single or low double digits. It's a tight enough margin that even one semi-final run could see Eala leapfrog all of them. As for the top 20, outlets like the Manila Times and Tennis 365 both describe the gap as surprisingly narrow, saying a single deep run at a WTA 1000 could push her into the top 25 or even the top 20. That means the sensational 634-point gap headline from an earlier video simply doesn't match the real numbers, a clickbait-style exaggeration. But the underlying story is real. Eala genuinely is close to the top 20. So what's coming next? Eala will play the Toronto Masters, then Cincinnati, then the US Open close to home turf, since that's where she won her first ever Grand Slam match last year, beating Clara Tauson in the first round. Her current ranking gives her strong odds of a seeded entry, meaning more favorable early matchups, and since she only needs to defend 70 points across the whole swing, any decent result will meaningfully boost her total. Reach a Masters semi-final, and she earns 195 points. A final is worth 325. A title nets the full 500. Add any of those to her current range of roughly 1,666 to 1,690, and it's easy to see how she could cross the top 20 threshold, likely somewhere in the 200 to 400 point range. Run that math, and top 20 by year's end stop sounding like a random guess. It's grounded in real ranking mathematics. That's exactly why Eala's uncle, Nali Eala, posted on social media that his niece could realistically claim a top 20 spot before the year is out, a sentiment shared by tennis analysts and journalists covering the tour, not just family. Zooming out, Eala's journey is a lesson in how much consistency and patience matter in any sport. She never bet her career on a single tournament. She built her ranking brick by brick, match by match, season by season. She dealt with injuries and setbacks, and came back stronger every time. Now, in one of the most crucial stretches of her career, the entire Philippines and tennis fans worldwide are watching closely. If she keeps this momentum through the North American swing, she won't just set a new career-high ranking. She could carve a name into Philippine tennis history that's never forgotten. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it, subscribe so you catch every update on Alex Eala's matches and ranking as it happens, and drop a comment letting us know what you think. Will Alex Eala crack the WTA top 20 by the end of this year, or not? See you in the next video. Until then, take care.